So it was inevitable. There was definitely going to be a time when we got into a modern RC car, and the time is now. Our infatuation with RC cars goes back a really, really long time. We spent the last 25 years really heavily involved in the ATV and now the UTV industry. But it all kind of started with RC cars back in the day. And this is actually an original Team Losi LXT. So you don't really see too many of these around anymore. I've just never gotten rid of it. It's a little worse for wear, but it's got a lot of time that was spent on it. And we had a ton of fun with this thing. And now it just kind of sits. We eventually made our way into the Traxxas Slash. This is my son's car, and we've had a ton of fun with it. And he was young when he first got it, and played around with nickel metal hydride batteries to basically so he didn't hurt himself or, more importantly, anybody else. We eventually put a lipo in it, and it was a ton of fun. And we've been looking at some of the newer RC cars, and we finally decided to bite the bullet, and we ended up deciding on an Arrma Kraton. This is a 6S, and it's pretty much ridiculous. It's so incredibly powerful and has so many features that some of the older RC cars didn't have. Starting at the top here, I really love that these clips are tethered because we pretty much lose every one we've ever had. These suckers are tethered right onto the body, so it just allows you to pop right out, and then you don't lose them ultimately. Underneath, this is a ready to run, ready to race, ready to rip, whatever you want to call it. Comes pretty much ready to go. The only thing that you need to add is a set of batteries, which is what we did. We're running two 3-cell batteries, so it's on 6 cells, and it's absolutely crazy compared to what we were used to. So just looking at the product, one of the reasons, I'll tell you a couple reasons why we chose the Arrma. Number one, I like the aluminum chassis. I thought the aluminum chassis was actually a really good idea. Plastic is cool, but I just wanted something that was aluminum, and I knew that we were going to beat up on it, and I figured the aluminum may take a bit more of a beating. I understand that they do bend. I have seen some that are bent. We'll probably bend this one, but that's okay. It'll give us an opportunity to upgrade it and try something else out. It has 4 fluid-filled shocks. They're hydraulic shocks, so haven't messed with them. This is pretty much bone stock the way it came as it was built. Really like that. Lots and lots of suspension travel. Lots and lots of droop. This actually, I really loved. One of the things that really drew me to this brand was the center brace. So obviously you get a lot of flex. I don't care what it is, whether it's aluminum or plastic, it's definitely going to flex. If it doesn't flex, it's going to break. This helps give it a little bit more rigidity, so the flexing isn't crazy. This does have a rear, center, and a front differential, again, totally stock. I will eventually, curiosity will get the best of me, and I will rip this thing apart just to see what it's made of, and I'll make some improvements. But we'll wait until we actually break it, which is probably going to be today, and then we'll start making some different upgrades with it. So we're just gonna we've had it out one other time just to see how it works. So not actually the maiden voyage, but pretty close to the maiden voyage with this. Kind of lousy outside, the weather's pretty terrible, so we're just going to go out and have a little bit of fun. Try not to destroy it too much today, and we will definitely be following up with some other videos as well. Actually, something I just noticed as I'm sitting here looking, this thing has a sway bar. Just like the UTVs have, there's a sway bar right here. So that basically, see it right here and right here. So it kind of helps keep it planted. I didn't even know it had that. It has a front sway bar too. So there they are. So pretty awesome. The more I look at it, the more I'm impressed. And yeah, we're gonna go out and rip with it and have a little bit of fun. those little cushions have been out on top of the pool cover for the last month or so. And it's been too cold for me to walk out there, so I figured maybe this is a good idea. Guess we'll find out.
Because it's heavy.
We managed to crash it 50 times. It is not broken, which is great, and a couple little scratches here and there, but nothing seems to be actually broken. Everything seems to still be functioning. A little bit wet, but what we'll do is we'll let it shut down here and unplug everything and let it dry off, and we'll go over it and we will get back to everybody if and when we break it, and you know, with some modifications and some other things that we're going to do to it as well. As always, we're trying to build our user group, so definitely subscribe and come down to the comments section, make a couple comments, and we're happy to respond to any questions you might have.